Here we are, guys. Dad's going ahead of us, checking the fence. We've not been back here like we told you. This is the back 40. We come off of this the last week of August, I think, was the last time we was here, if I'm not bad mistaken. So this is our video of our stockpile. And I tell you what, guys, just to be truthfully honest, I'm not impressed. But at the same time, I'm glad we done what we done. We've not had much growth on this, obviously, since August, because we have not got no rain. Very, very little rain. We might have got an inch since August. But with that being said, guys, we do have a lot of stockpile here. Let me get down here and get to where you guys can see maybe a little bit. We got, just in this particular clump right here, I mean, we've probably got a foot of stockpile right there. And it looks about the same all the way through this. Pretty good down in there, probably a little bit thicker. But yeah, at first initial glance, I'm kind of disappointed, but the thing about it is, guys, you got to look at the big picture. If we didn't do what we done, the side that the cows is on definitely wouldn't be as picked through, eaten up as much as it is, because we'd be utilizing this more. But from a broad outlook, we wouldn't have had near this much grass on this side either. So either which way, guys, that's you can either look at it cup half full or cup half empty. By doing what we've done here, if we can make it till December, which I think we can, I think we're not going to be feeding much hay in way of needing to feed it. We'll be feeding it, of course, when the snow covers up the grass. Right here's some pretty good stuff, guys. Get a big bite of that right there. Pretty good stuff. It's kind of laid down right here. Guess the wind has got it. Dad's got his measuring stick out. But like I said, you can look at it half full or half empty. Half full is the way we prefer. So like we say, when we turn cows in on this in December, guys, this is what they're going to be eating. Right here's a good clump that's laid over. You got your stick, June? And it's thick, guys. That's what you got to look at. It's thick. I mean, you can't even see the ground. You can't even get to the bare ground, and it's just as cool down in there. But it's thick, guys. That's where you get your quantity at. The length, it means a little, but the thickness, guys, the thickness is where you get, guys, the longevity of your grazing. When you're turning into a thick paddock of grass, it just lasts a whole lot longer than a paddock of tall grass. What are you thinking, Junior? We got a foot average?
We got about anywhere from 18 to 20 inches thickness wise.
Right. Height.
That's consistent.
Okay.
Now, height wise, it goes all the way up 30 inches in some places.
But I was telling them at first glance, and I told you when we was driving down to get to here, I wasn't too impressed with the growth. I was expecting a little more growth. But glass half full mentality, if it's nothing else, it's thick.
Well, look at it. It's all laying down. It's so tall. It's laid
over. That'll get you. I said wind, but I would say, guys, the frost has more to do with that than the wind.
Dry weather. Moisture's gone out of it.
Yeah, the dry weather is why we don't have. Is why I'm kind of disappointed, guys. Because if we'd have had a little rain on this in the months of August, September, and even in October, guys, this right here would have been knee deep and thick. But like I say, we ain't had no rain. So just another praise of rotational grazing, another praise of pasture management. Guys, if we didn't do this, If this would have had cattle on it the entire time with no rain, even with rotational grazing, it would have been a lot lower and a lot less dense, for sure. So we're gonna come out ahead, I believe. We're gonna come out ahead. We're not gonna have to feed, like I say, much hay, except for maybe when the snow covers it up a few times. But we're wanting to feed hay. That's the main reason that we done what we done, guys. If this makes sense to you, let's walk up here to see the pond. Neighbor, our buddy's over there shooting his bow, getting ready. We was talking about deer season there in the last video. But we're wanting to feed hay on this side of the farm, guys. That's why we've saved it for the wintertime. Because when the stockpile gets low, when this grass starts getting thin and low, we're going to start unrolling hay on it so that we can build up the carbon on this side. We've said before in a few videos, this side of the farm that you can see here, this is the back 40 that we've been talking about. And it's right at about 30 acres. This side, the soil test come back, I think it's specifically called for lime. And that was pretty much it. It was in pretty good shape other than that. Right here's some thick grass. So, instead of buying lime that our cows won't eat, we're going to unroll hay on this side, guys, when we run out of stockpile this winter. And by unrolling hay, we're adding carbon to the ground. And when you add carbon to the ground, that acts just like fertilizer, lime, phosphorus, all that other stuff, right, guys? So, our thoughts here at Penny Pincher Farm, instead of buying fertilizer, instead of buying lime that the cows cannot eat, we're going to instead buy hay and feed hay that our cows can eat. And what they don't eat, what some people consider waste, that's going to act as our fertilizer, our lime, in way of carbon that's being left on the ground, guys. The main deal to this whole gig, guys, is not having any bare soil showing. If you got bare soil showing, just like our yards right now, just like pasture fields that don't have no management going on them, the cows just have free range. There's nothing by now, guys, covering the bare ground. It's bare. You can see the dirt. And when you can see the dirt, it's not good. It's like getting a sunburn on your skin. The sun, especially in a drought condition like we're in, it just bakes it, guys. It bakes, it cracks, it gets hard. What are you pointing at, Junior?
Look at the difference between that hillside right there at the thinness of the ground, of the grass, and then look over here in the holler. You can tell the thickness of it, how it is over here in this holler.
And that's any hillside for you guys, where there's trees growing, where there's shade.
This is, our flat up here on the top mimics this hillside here, and that's going to be the areas that we want to feed on.
Yeah, exactly right. The poorer areas on your farm, guys, that's where you want to be unrolling your hay at. It may sound counterproductive, but that's where you want to put your most animal impact. Where you unroll that hay at, where you feed your hay at, that's going to be the areas that's getting the most urine, the most feces, for lack of a better word. And that's where your fertilizer is at, guys. That's why you see these old guys spreading cow manure on their pasture fields, because it is probably better than fertilizer. It's got all the same stuff in it and probably at a higher density. So not just by the hay that we're putting on the ground, we're concentrating that poop, that urine, we're concentrating that and spreading it out everywhere throughout our farm. Instead of with a manure spreader, we're doing it with our little poly braid wire, right? Where we move that wire to, that's where the cows can have access to. So we're going to feed, like for example, we'll feed hay here today in the wintertime. We'll feed hay there the next time, hay there the next time, hay there the next time, and work our way around this farm feeding hay, guys. And by doing that, we're concentrating manure here, manure here, manure here, all the way around where that hay's being fed at. There's going to be a concentration of manure, right? Because that's where the cows is going to be spending the majority of their time. I know that may be a quick way of explaining it, and probably not a good way of explaining it, guys, but that's the gist of what we're doing. That's the gist of regenerative agriculture, not buying the fertilizer, not buying the lime, but instead moving your animals across the landscape, concentrating their fertilizer, their poop, their pee, on your landscape, guys. So that's the gist of it. This is the back 40. This is the back 40, so Not bad. I personally had high expectations. Dad said, "Wow," when we pulled in. But it'll be what it'll be, guys. Good Lord take care of us. We ain't gonna worry about it. We've done everything in our power to grow Stockpile, so it'll be what it'll be. We've got plenty of hay, and I think we're gonna make it just fine, guys.
If we can make it 30 more days on the other side and then come over here December 1st, we should be in the berries.
Yep.
December, January, and February.
Yep. I think, without a doubt, guys, we can rotate around this pasture right here probably 3 trips before we have to start feeding hay. I think we can. Because, the farther along in the winter you go, the colder it gets. Some of this stuff is going to freeze. It's going to get stepped on, broke off, all that kind of thing. And in the wintertime, guys, this is just a little plug too. People get tore up about these standing weeds that's in their pasture fields. Like, why don't you bush hog that down? Guys, the first big snow that comes, these weeds are going to be gone. That snow will hit that and they'll break right off. And by the time the snow hits it and our cows walk through it, guys, it's going to be a total different look. So I'm not wasting my money bush hogging it, to be truthfully honest with you guys.
We'll wait till February and see how it looks.
That's right. That's right. Guys, this is Penny Pincher Farm. We're done. We're done. So we're going to enjoy the rest of our weekend. Go check a few deer cameras maybe. Get us one in line. The old neighbor over here's got us inspired. He's shooting his bow. We probably ought to get ours out and shoot too. Guys, this is Penny Pincher Farm. Thanking the Lord for every day that he gives us. And we're going to give him all the glory here at Penny Pincher Farm. What do you say, June?
Good day.